Natalya, also known from Total Divas as Natty, is the only female to have gone through the rigorous Heart Dungeon, which has helped train the likes of Chris Benoit, Bret Hart, Owen Hart, and her husband Tyson Kidd, among others. She is also one of the longest serving female superstars in WWE today, showing how immensely talented she is along the way with many classic moments and matches. Hello and welcome to Superstar Ratings. Before we start, please make sure to share and pile driver that subscription button. Today, we look at the Queen of Hearts, Natalya. In Superstar Ratings, we take 10 aspects of a WWE superstar and rate them out of 10 to equal a total of 100. These aspects are moveset, finisher, selling, character or gimmick, promos, entrance, physique, and finally, credibility. Let's begin with, as always, moveset. Natalya, as you would expect, has a terrific moveset. She's a heart after all. From German suplexes to Michinoku drivers to just technically sound chain wrestling. There is not a lot she cannot do. She does not need to do any suicide dives or flippy flips to have a great match, as she prefers to have crisp submissions and high impact slams. Another move in her arsenal is her discus clothesline, known as the Natty by nature, and also a drop down drop kick where she kicks down on the back of her opponents coming off one rope before heading to the opposite rope to do a seated drop kick. Devastating. She is known also for her excellent submission work, including the modified abdominal stretch, which is just like an abdominal stretch but modified. This, coupled with high impact moves such as her spinning powerbomb, make Natalya a great talent to watch. For all that, she scores a 10 out of 10. Finisher. Keeping in line with her family, Natalya also uses the sharpshooter, although she has won some matches with the Natty by nature, and she did use the spinning powerbomb for a little while. I remember her using it on El Torito, about the only time I remember her using it as a finisher, but mainly she sticks to the sharpshooter, sometimes doing a double sharpshooter. And sharpshooter is a classic move, but I do wish she also had used the powerbomb more often as well as a finisher. So I'm going to knock down a point for that, so I'm going to give her a 9 out of 10. Selling. Natalya also sells well. As with any heart, she seems to have taken that gene as well from her family. Nothing really much I can say. She doesn't really oversell or undersell anything, but she really does a great emotionally of selling, especially with her facial expressions. So because it's not perfect or anything, I'm going to only give a 9 out of 10 for this. Character or gimmick. Natalya can play a good face and she can also play a good heel, but she has also had her low moments throughout her career as well. She played a heel in early 2017 and she was quite decent at it. She never really got to have a big run with it, but she was good in her little time, and she was also really good as SmackDown Women's Champion. Another high moment was the Divas of Doom, although it did take a really low turn when she developed the farting gimmick, which she knew was terrible, WWE knew was terrible, and the fans knew was terrible, and the talent knew it was terrible. All except for Vince McMahon, who I'm sure was cackling away like a hyena. But she has had some high moments, so I am going to give her a 7 out of 10. Promos. Natalya with her promos usually gets no reaction. I remember earlier on Raw this year, or late last year, she did a promo in her hometown and basically got no reaction. Maybe that's because some fans are stupid and don't recognise great talent like Natalya. She has had some good promos in the past. I especially remember her heel turn promo on Nikki Bella was actually really good and well done. But promos are really not her strong suit. She's mainly a wrestler. Her promos do need to be worked on. But she has had some good promos, so I'm just going to give her above average a 6 out of 10. Entrance. Natalya has a decent theme song, but nothing amazing. It's simply like a remix of Bret Hart's theme song, but worse. She doesn't really do anything interesting on her entrance, just maybe one pose, but just walks into the ring. But I will give her she always does have a really good attire. So that's something, I guess. I'm just going to give it an average 5 out of 10. Physique. I mean, she is pretty much a tank. There's a reason why she's always doing fitness shoots and stuff like that, because she's in great shape, and so I can't really say anything more than that. I can't give her anything lower than a 10, to be honest. Athleticism. Natalya is a terrific athlete, and she can put on a long form match all the time. She can put on a 13+ minute match and not be tired. Well, obviously be tired, but not, still be able to go. So I'm going to give her a strong 8 out of 10 for this, because I know she doesn't do any, super athletic moves really, other than maybe a drop kick here and there. Great matches. Natalya has, for all her talent, has never really managed to have many excellent matches. She has got not really enough opportunities to have these amazing matches, but when she does, she always knocks it out of the park. Some of her best matches include in NXT TakeOver. I believe it was the second NXT special, the first TakeOver. She had a terrific match with Charlotte, with Bret Hart in her corner, and Charlotte had Ric Flair in her corner, father and, uncle, because that makes sense. But they had a terrific match, these two. They really worked excellently together, and I know they had some great matches as well on the main roster as well in 2017, but their TakeOver match was the best of the bunch. Also at SummerSlam in 2017, when Natalya won the SmackDown Women's Championship, she did it so in a absolutely high impact, fast paced match against Naomi. Probably one of Naomi's best matches as well. I remember really enjoying that matchup. Such a great match and such a great moment for Natalya to win the SmackDown Women's title. She definitely deserved it, especially after that performance. Also in late 2018, Natalya had a match with her best friend Ronda Rousey, and this was a slow-paced, methodical match, and I loved every single moment of it. I don't see this match getting much love online, which I do not understand because it was such a technically sound, crisp matchup. So for all this, I am going to give Natalya an 8 out of 10 for this. Credibility. Natalya has been one of the longest serving members of the WWE roster, and she is the only female to compete in the Hart Dungeon. She has also along the way won the Divas Championship and the SmackDown Women's Championship, so she has not won as much as she should have. But she is still a top star in the women's division, so I'm going to give her an 8 out of 10 for this, but she deserved to have more in her career. Overall, Natalya scores an 80 out of 100. Let's take a look at where that places this WWE superstar on the superstar ratings leaderboard. Just one above The Miz, so she does not take the bottom spot. But Natalya has always been one of my favourites. I always say she is probably the best female technical wrestler in the world, and I'll continue to say that because it is still true to this day. An absolute terrific talent who's, I think, has been underused and undervalued, not only by WWE but by the fans as well. She really deserves much more love than she gets. Thank you for watching the Decent Wrestling Show. Please make sure to share, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next time for another exciting edition of Superstar Ratings.